Alright, so last time we saw a huge explosion. Well, here we go. Ooh. Well, I never heard of a bird so heavy or hot as that. No, I don't think you're right about that one. You haven't heard of much, I knew that already. I can tell you right now. You don't tell him a thing. If it was a bird, how'd it burn up like that? My father-in-law... Amazing. Oh, shit! No. Okay, sorry. I thought I'd lost it forever. Old William. That old man must see a flying saucer every night, and 2 on the weekend. I never... Now, didn't I say that earlier about flying saucers? You heard me. You know, just a week ago, up by the lake. Not one of you know a thing about weird lights in the sky, but I'm gonna tell you anyway. About 9 months back, I was out sorting the cans and bottles, and I saw 3 flashes that took up half the sky. They flashed in order, a few seconds apart. Red, green, blue. Then about a few months later, I was fixing my lawnmower and I saw them again, but faster. Red, green, blue. Now just a week ago, I was microwaving some steam in the bad broccoli, and I looked up and there it was out the window. Reggie blue. Turns out I cannot pronounce the word green. I've learned this about myself and it's quite sad. So don't tell me about burning birds, lights in the sky, flying saucers. I know already. Bird UFOs. I just want to see if there's anything. Well, that's all very interesting, but my cousin works for a TV station, and he says they drop about 2, 3 satellites a week. They just fall out of the sky. More like government satellites. All I know is it wasn't a bird. That's all I care to know. Let's go check the scanner. The scanner. Was something. Alright. After driving through the night, Dr. Truman's house, ? Oh. The neighborhood at the address on Lula's card has been demolished. In its place is a large museum, still partially under construction. Aw, sweet. Huh. remember it being a sudden transition last time, too. Oh yeah, he was talking to his dog. The guy was a weirdo. What did he say? A small talk, you know, like you talk to your buddies or something. Like you talk to a dock worker. Just like, damn, this is a lot of rain. I haven't seen rain like this since that storm a couple years back that took out Lisette's herb garden. I just feel bad for that old dog, getting dragged all over by a couple of drunks. Old dog like that should be sleeping on a porch somewhere, but that's loyalty for you. Well, they didn't stay long anyway. I heard the man and the lady talking when they first came in, but they didn't see me. Mom lets me stay up late all the time. She said it's okay. I was just looking for frogs. The man said his leg was hurting him. They were looking for Dr. Truman, but he was already gone. But they didn't know, so they kept looking around. I just assumed they were from the power company. You know how they're always coming by unannounced and messing with this or that? I just shut myself up in my room to wait it out. No sense getting involved. Must have been one of the kids who left the front door unlocked. Something's got to be done. They run around like animals. You know that Flora left a can of soda on top of my shelter door and I almost killed myself slipping on that sticky mess the next morning? Something's got to be done. Perfect. I respect it. I respect their choice to have him walk slow as molasses because of his hurt leg. But it is too slow. It just is. Okay, so we can go, I guess, where the shadow is. Oh, love the pattern. Can't go over to this one? No? I was playing that empty cabin, and they came by. They asked about Dr. Truman. I know where he went, but I didn't tell him. The lady asked me about my parents, and I told them they were upstairs in the greenhouse. Do you want to hear a weird story? Of course I do. The old man asked me about the cabin. He said it looked like another house he knew, and he wanted to know where it came from. I told him nobody lived there, so he went inside. He took a long time exploring, but when he came back out, he told me all about it. I mean, it looks like the Marquez farmhouse, especially with the barn. He went upstairs and he also looked around the other rooms. I played with the dog. Or maybe it's Lisette's house? He looked at some boxes. He looked out the window. He could see the museum better than when he was downstairs. He could tell how it was all put together. And the cabin, too. He could see the shape of it better from up there. Now, the part that is weird. He said he went into the basement. That cabin doesn't have a basement. He said he found a staircase in a closet. Then he found a rope leading to a long pit and climbed down. The walls were covered in glowing moss. Use the light of the moss to find a lake at the bottom of the pit. Or swept him around till he didn't know where he was, and finally he fell asleep in the water. He woke up on the floor of the cabin. He came back outside, and we said goodbye. And I didn't talk to them anymore. Or I don't want to miss anything. But the topology of this place is a little rough. The moment I now recall most clearly from their short visit was the birdcage exhibit. The old man stopped to rest, or maybe to think. The young woman had been anxious up to that point, but she stopped as well and examined the birdcage more closely. It seemed to elicit a tenderness from her. She ran one fingernail along the bars of the wire cage, marking out a tuneless scale like a child's xylophone. And then they moved on. That dog was in nearly as bad shape as the old man, just sort of shrugging along. I found some treats in the doghouse exhibit. That seemed to cheer them up a bit. Yes, Homer gets fed. Essential for every good act of Kentucky Route Zero. I have to get some real chickens in that coop. Do some homesteading. None of these folks know how to live off the land. You know what I mean? Yeah, no offense against you guys. I mean, I appreciate what all you've done for us. I think you need to get some real horses in the stable. Not anymore. Now I like jungle cats. You could get some real panthers in the stable. Is there anything at the barn? No? Okay. I see how it is. I'm gonna miss something and I'm gonna be annoyed. Sure, I talked to them for a bit. Actually, we talked for quite a while. I wasn't busy. I was happy for the company. Can't sleep in a storm like that. I never could. I told him to put his umbrella away. I get great shelter right here. I had a bottle in my coat, and I could see the old guy looking at it, and his leg was hurt pretty bad, so I offered him some. He got real awkward about it. I bet he's in a program. Anyway, they were asking about Dr. Truman. I remember him. He was here for a bit, and then he left. So that's what I told him. Underpass dwelling? I mean, I suppose. At first I thought it might be Hudson walking up to visit. I'd heard him working on his boat just a bit earlier, before the storm started. But then I saw the stranger's limping gait, and the young woman with him, and I knew it couldn't be. I invited them in for a glass of bourbon, which they politely declined, so I just talked to them on the porch for a bit. Oh, we talked a bit about the neighborhood. I told them about Hudson and his sailboat, and the nice young couple in the greenhouse, and the charming Dr. Truman who used to live here. They were very interested in him, but of course, I don't know where he went. Do you know, I don't believe either of them had ever set foot on a houseboat before. I don't know that the older man had ever seen an ocean, in fact. It has always been my fondest dream to retire on a houseboat. That's why I accepted your offer and moved in here. It isn't perfect, but what home ever is? I only wish the house would sway a bit. I find that it settles my nerves. Well, if we have another storm like that last one. In fact, he had his umbrella open indoors. It wasn't leaking that badly. Everyone's commenting on how rude I am walking around inside with an umbrella open. I'm going to be annoyed if I miss anything. I heard them banging around out there, and I just stayed quiet. I don't know what they wanted. I just put my headphones on and tried to ignore them, to tell you the truth. Yeah, they came by and knocked on the window, and we had a bit of a talk through the glass. I would have come out, but, shady characters. I already told you, weirdos, walking around door to door asking about Dr. Truman this late at night. I told them what I know, but in this weather? I told them he moved in here with the rest of us when you folks bought up the neighborhood, and then one day his house was gone. That's all I know about that. I don't want to talk about that anymore. Nope. There's a way over there, I couldn't figure it out. Can you imagine being surrounded by houses and stuff, and then you get assigned a highway overpass or underpass and a tent? They were hollering at that empty tent you folks have on display. Ha! Okay, so no one lives in there. Hey, if you ever need anyone to stay in there, I've been in worse positions. I guess they must have gone through some papers here. It was in some disarray, and a few folders were pulled out and left on the table. I mean, it wasn't too bad. I only noticed because Diane is such a stickler. She's real organized, I mean. Yeah, mostly stuff about the building site, I guess. They had a list of all the homes we relocated here. A list of original residences before we leveled the neighborhood. I guess they were looking for one of the old residents. They pulled out a list of the folks who didn't take the offer, folks who moved elsewhere, but they filed that back, out of order, so I guess they didn't find what they were looking for there. Hey, while I have you here, work's kind of slowed down, and it seems like, I know you folks know what you're doing, but it seems like the residents are just kind of settling in? Yeah, I get that. Just how about that roof, huh? You just write us a check and we'll finish it right up. I know you've got this museum thing going on, but you don't want to be slumlords now. It's true, you do not want to be a slumlord. If you own a place where other people live, it should be taken from you if you don't keep a good handle on it. Okay, so now we're back to the beginning. Hobble away, my friend. Hobble away. Oh. I like how you get little hints, like there was that ragged scrap of something or other up here on the upper level. I wonder if we're someone looking down and watching, or... Homer? Hoof. So I have my umbrella open, therefore I'm safe. Okay. Hopefully that will be okay. I remember there was a game-breaking bug up here, so I hope that is fixed for this version as well. They wouldn't come in, just rushing around. You could tell they were worn, and it was late at night, but just rushing around. Whoa. Whoa. Well, there was some urgency to the older man's injury, so it's understandable. His leg, it was twisted or something. He held it while he walked, and it made these painful little... And he made these painful little sounds in his throat. Oof. Oh, how? I don't know. I didn't ask. It would have been rude, I think. Well, we just don't know. I suppose we never will. I heard a shout from downstairs. The old man had stumbled in the rain. I stayed inside with the lights off. There's no sense in my getting involved. I should make a chart of all these names and see where else they might show up. I didn't see or hear a thing all night. I was in the back doing inventory when they came by. I got 30 cases of candles in, and each one of those has got to be individually labeled, you know? But I heard from some of the other neighbors that they weren't up to any harm, just passing through. I'll talk to Ezra in a second. I'm assuming this is another circle. Oh, that's the greenhouse that was mentioned. Flora was playing down on the lower level, and we'd been having a glass of wine in the greenhouse. We ducked out of the way when he came in. After all, they were complete strangers. We didn't know them. Well, I heard the young woman ask her friend about his job. He's some kind of furniture collector or dealer, I think. It didn't sound like things were going well. Maybe they were looking for a buyer? Yes, definitely some kind of furniture collector or dealer. I heard him talking about antiques. Here's the boat. Hudson. Difficult to see or even hear a storm like that, but I was awake and alert, studying the week's forecast. Should even out shortly, I'd say. Hard not to up here. The strangers wanted to know how I coped with the exposure. I guess some people will never understand the appeal of life on a sailboat. It's tragic, I'd say. Well, then they had to leave. Looking for a doctor, I think. The old man was having a bad time. It was a short conversation. Oh, of course. I saw them looking at the odd-shaped building. Yeah, that one. House of the future sort of thing. I always thought it looked more like a grain bin. Actually, I guess it's sort of romantic. Anyway, they seemed interested in it. Tired, huddling under their umbrellas. They still stopped to examine this strange building. We were working in the greenhouse, and I saw them come up in the elevator. They were lost, obviously. It was obvious. I like the idea. A museum of dwellings and you have people actually living in them. I'm hoping there's no bug. Alright, for the first time, we're in the present. I saw you folks drive up. I like your truck. What kind of truck is that? Yeah, I knew you were a driver. What's the biggest haul you ever did? Me and Julian move whole houses every night. That's a lot bigger than a pool table. Yeah, it's a big job. Me and Julian take them out to the forest every night, and then we bring them back at dawn before the museum opens. Huh. This museum is an okay place to live in the daytime, but it's no good at night. Folks just can't sleep in a place like this, and when they do, it gives them nightmares. So we take them out to the forest to sleep, and then bring them back in the morning. Oh no, I don't know where they are. Me and Julian were looking for them for a while, but... Anyway, we have a job to do here now. Taking these people out to the forest at night so they can't sleep. So they can sleep. And maybe if the rest of them will be like Dr. Truman and want to stay out there, we'll get back to looking. Can you tell us how to get to the forest? You have to follow the Green River way out east, and then hop over Lake Cumberland. The roads don't go there. How do you know how your state has chunks of it that just don't connect to the rest of it? But me and Julian can take you. We were just about to go anyway. I've just got to call him over. Okay. That's good. The developers fixed it for me, but I remember, I don't know if it was just a concatenation of events, but lightning struck the first time that Julian landed. So it's just, I got one after image of him rearing with lightning in the background, and then my copy of Kentucky Route Zero just died. Couldn't get it to load up again, and I thought, oh no. And eventually Jake at a cardboard computer managed to fix it. And now every time I try to message my brother Jake, I almost message Jake at cardboard computer instead. This height, the museum looks like a blocky crater, slowly filling with rain. Huh. I think this is another thing, if I recall correctly, that they edited slightly because it got people seasick. It is something. The flayed hull of a country home smolders in the night. Parts of the property are obscured by smoke. Oh dear. Ooh, is it our church? Country church with a pitched roof and a 3-story spire. A large LED display glows in the parking lot. Behind the church are several dusty metal trash cans, a few of which are opened. I think that was us. I think we opened those. A large dirt parking lot surrounds the bait shop. The sign is vaulted above the road on a thin steel bar. Bright but unsteady lights throb from the windows of the shop's back room. Oh, isn't that Weaver's shop? Are we still back there? A tiny gray figure walks along the side of the road, carrying what appears to be a guitar case. He is followed closely by a smaller shape. A dog? He looks tired. Isn't that the busker from the first one? South Green River. From above, the huge swaying tipple looks like a small wooden lattice framing the edge of the mine entrance. A tipple. Ooh. Nope. Come back. A shadowy figure drags itself out of the lake, stuffs its limbs into a smart blue suit, and trudges slackly out of view. Oh. Just Innsmouth? Oh! I think that's a reference to Octodad, actually. But I'd prefer that it remain mysterious, I suppose. I don't know. This was absolutely an interesting choice in navigation. I can't say I feel great when it swoops around. Ooh. Flying past at this speed and angle, the farmhouse is invisible among the trees. Its location is only marked by Conway and Shannon's memories. Alright, so it's still there. So that suggests that the house Conway saw was Lisette's. That's my guess. From this angle, the building looks strange and abstract, like a pile of intersecting boxes and triangles. Like some sort of video game. Is this something I can fix? No? Okay. Barren River and a Barren River Lake. Sort of like that. Just like an empty river. Empty river lake. Empty river ocean. It's over here. Is this something? Cumberland River. A light in the hills, probably a small fire. A few figures are clustered around a crude network of tanks and pipes. Oh, can't go further. From a distance, from the air, it first looks like a swamp. Vines have grown over the street lamps. Flower bushes obscure the streets. A few of the houses have slid partially into the ground, foundations cracked by underground roots. I've seen a town like that in Louisiana. I think there was some sort of mud catastrophe, a flood. And so there's just there were a couple of vegetable stands there, and then the street was just all the houses were just half sunken into the ground, all overgrown with trees. Okay, so that's the forest. I know that I'm missing stuff. I just gotta remember southeast is essentially the direction I need to go. I want to fly over one of the towns. I feel like there's something in one of the cities of Kentucky. Five people hurriedly carry large objects from an apartment building into a van. The larger two are hauling beige shapes nearly their height. The smaller of the three clutch brightly colored objects under their elbows. Most of the lights in the building are dark. The yard's empty. The windows boarded shut. I wonder if those are the Bedquilt Ramblers. The musicians. Ooh, I think this is the one that's pitch dark on that side. An all-night diner by the side of the road. Though, the lights are on. More fool I. Oof. I thought southeast was the way I needed to go in order to return to the forest. Oof. I'm sure there are other things to see, but I think I'm going to mosey on over to the forest. Can you imagine? I spent like an hour just wandering around every square of this map, even though you just spend the whole time rotating. It was a fun time, but it's affecting me badly this time around. Guessing I can't go further south yet. Does this go somewhere? Doesn't seem like it. Alright, into the forest we go. Am I ever going to get back to my truck? So this is Ezra. Mario rules. Always go right. I love what they did. I wish I could remember the name of the artist. I studied her in high school up in Canada. Brother Julian. Yeah, she did a painting I really liked of, I mean, there are a number of variations on the theme where you have stuff that couldn't possibly be hidden by a tree coming out one end, a lot like this. And one of my favorites is there's this just amorphous dark blob or blurt of cloth or something in the woods, and it's just sort of swelling there. I don't know. Anyway. Ooh. It's okay. Just take it easy. Got to get back on the road. We will, but we need to get this leg looked at first. Right now you're in no condition to haul anything out of that truck, even when we do find Dogwood Drive. Why is this delivery so important to you? Oh, you're retiring or something? Or, sorry. Damn. A giant bird will listen to your troubles.
Stuck in a raining and I've got to go home. Got to go home, boy.
House of the Future. Shouldn't be much farther now. I think I see where the settlement ends over there. Yeah, really nice. You a tree enthusiast? You're in a lot of pain right now, aren't you? We're almost there. Get you patched up and back in that truck. We can handle this. I think that's 4 now of people. There's a... I was going to say, if there's a 5th one, that would maybe confirm, but... Do you have any family you're close with? Brother, sister, kids? Well... So that's family, I guess. Oh yeah, husband, bunch of kids. She had this great kid named Charlie, but I guess I was always closest with Weaver. As close as someone can be with a girl like that. She was always on her own wavelength, but we were the same age growing up, and everyone else was so busy. When she disappeared, I got pretty angry. I guess I just stayed that way. I never really understood her, but I knew her. It's lonely without someone like that around. Sorry, you're a good listener. That's 5. Inside with Dr. Truman. Are you coming in? Yep, it's easy to get lost, especially out in the woods like this. I never really get lost, though. I just look out for Julian. He's always around. My folks had a really nice house, bigger than any of these houses, but it made them worried all the time. Then the bank took it back. We had to sleep at the bus station, but I could never get to sleep, so I just went out to fly around every night with Julian. We flew really far, and we never got lost. But when we came back in the morning, they were all gone. Yeah, okay. Well, we can all go looking again later tonight. Let's go see what's on TV. And yeah, I think during that exit interview is when I really realized how badly they had me. But how else can you pay for medical school? I have college friends with debts that you can't expect to pay that back unless you're planning to sell painkillers on the side or something. Or, some kind of administrative thing. I don't know. Haven't seen what arthritis did to my grandmother, and my best friend in high school destroyed his wrist building synthesizers. I mean, he was like 17. Ailments of the joints and limbs just seem important to me. I hope that answers your question. Getting a scholarship with that pharmaceutical company had a lot of strings attached, but at least I have somewhere to practice, even if I have to follow their market trends a bit. And hey, thanks to all those seminars, I'm an expert on the medical uses of Neurypnol TM. It's not so bad. So how about that leg? What happened exactly? Grabbed like an animal? Or a piece of machinery? That could get ugly. I've seen some joints twist right of... Never mind. Well, let's start the examination. What are they singing about? I don't remember. Singing about going home. Friend's in pretty bad shape, isn't he? But it's nothing we can't handle. You might have a few things to look out for in the future. Be a bit gentler with the leg or the way you walk. But you'll be okay. I've dealt with similar cases before. So, the anesthetic we'll use is called Neurypnol TM. It's pretty experimental, but it's more appropriate in cases like yours. The way it works is, I'll count backwards from 5 to start the process, and then we'll just have a normal conversation as the Neurypnol TM takes effect. Then I'll get started. Here we go. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. So let's talk about billing for a moment. The pharmaceutical company I'm contracted with has recently acquired by an energy company that has some different standards for billing and revenue, so it's a bit complex now. I don't trust Dr. Truman. That's not when you start talking about billing. The saddest thing is known from the beginning that this is a tragedy. Well, that's Act 2 complete. The phone number on the back of the Bureau of Secretive Tourism pamphlet, I believe, there was a little side piece where you would call that number, and it was, I think, a sort of choose your own adventure, or you're listening to some people talking along with some descriptions of a river. Like I said before, I don't think that brochure was physical, at least the last time I played. I don't know why they put the phone number there if it's between 3 and 4. I don't know. Maybe I just had the wrong handle of things. But yeah, next time will be the entertainment. Another side piece. I wonder if it's Carrington's piece. Yeah, I don't really know. I don't know much about these side pieces. And I think, I can't remember if it was 3 or 4 that I got to. I genuinely can't recall. So we're getting to the end of even what little I know. But it's an interesting journey. I like the magic realism, the bitter taste of Southern Gothic of it all. I'm a little worried I may have missed during the driving portion. I could have sworn it was 2. I don't really remember if we ever get a chance to drive around again, really. Maybe one more time. I don't know anything about 5, of course. But I thought there was a neat thing with a hitchhiker you picked up. Yeah, so next time I pick up Kentucky Route Zero, it'll be the entertainment. Have a good day.